So I like Legend of Zelda, and I like Super Mario. But if I have to, pick one, I mean, the shirt tells it all that I love Legend of Zelda more than Super Mario. But let's see what Watch Mojo got to say about Legend of Zelda versus Super Mario. Let's hit it off.
They're Nintendo's gaming powerhouses, but which one truly reigns supreme? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be pitting the Legend of Zelda and the Super Mario series up against each other to see which one is superior.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go!
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this matchup, we're pitting Nintendo's two biggest game franchises in a head-to-head duel to see which one is truly worthy of the greatest Nintendo franchise. Also note that for each round, with the exception of round 3, we'll be mostly focusing on the mainline entries in each series.
Right.
From here, we'll make our way to Goron City.
Breath of the Wild.
Then, we'll need some adjustments on that divine beast so Daru can manage it as easily as possible.
Round 1, Story.
I love Ocarina of Time, man.
The story of the Legend of Zelda games usually revolves around some version of a young hero trying to rescue a princess named Zelda from a villain named Ganon, all linked by a shared destiny. However, while the skeleton of the game's stories is often formulaic, the meat of them is anything but repetitive. The stories
Right,
often
I love
contain
this
a fair
game.
amount of
This is
depth,
like one of the
featuring
best
dark
Zelda
themes,
games I
complex
played.
narrative elements like time travel,
On
and a plethora
N64,
of side quests.
it's crazy.
On the other hand, the series' intricate stories can be a tad confusing, as anyone who's looked into the series' timeline can attest. The story of the Super Mario games usually revolves around the mustachioed plumber trying to rescue Princess Peach from the villain Bowser.
Like
Unlike
always.
The Legend of Zelda, though, the Super Mario games don't concern themselves with creating an overarching narrative. Although some of the series' RPG titles do have fairly complicated individual storylines,
Right.
the majority of Mario's adventures aren't especially complex. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, though, as the basic and recurring nature of the stories makes them accessible to a wide audience and easy to pick up, whether you're a newcomer or a Mario vet.
Super Mario Odyssey.
We're gonna award this round to The Legend of Zelda. While the Super Mario games have their own fun stories to tell, Zelda titles offer an immersive, lived-in world filled with interesting lore, and
Right.
the stories in each installment offer something new every time.
Correct.
Winner,
I like the
Legend of Zelda.
colorfulness
Tell
of
me
it.
the truth. How proficient are you right now wielding that sword on your back? Legend says that an ancient voice resonates inside it.
Round 2, Characters. As we stated earlier, the main characters found in the Zelda series are Link, Zelda, and Ganon, with a few exceptions. While versions of these characters are present in each game and have their own unique stories, this does somewhat limit the connection gamers feel towards them in terms
Right.
of the series as a whole, since they're more like archetypes than individuals. The same can be said of the supporting cast, a few of whom appear in several games, but most are limited to single appearances. The cast of the Super Mario series is vast.
Mario Kart
Besides
1000
Mario,
something,
the
because they
Mushroom
make
Kingdom
them
is full
like
of
every
colorful
year or
and
something like
characters,
that.
to the point where many of them are popular enough that they've had their own spin-off games and series of their own.
Luigi's
Even Mario's
Mansion.
enemies like the Koopas and Goombas are iconic and instantly recognizable
Yeah.
by people who don't even play video games. The flip side of
Exactly.
that is character development can be somewhat limited for most of these characters. Still, the appeal and fun of nearly every character is quite impressive. For this round, we gotta go with Super Mario, as the series' characters are just so memorable and varied.
Yeah.
While The Legend of Zelda has many
Bowser.
excellent characters, few of them pop up quite as much as the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom. Winner, Super Mario. Round 3, Game Variety.
It gotta be Zelda.
The Legend of Zelda has a fair amount of game variety. Although the series is primarily composed of action adventures,
Right.
even with the main series there is diversity to be found, as there are top-down 2D adventure games, as well as the more expansive 3D titles. Each game also does a great job of introducing new mechanics, which helps make each new entry feel fresh.
Right.
In addition, there have been some spin-offs that switch up the style completely, such as Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land and Hyrule Warriors, the latter of which features Zelda characters in a Dynasty Warriors style of game.
Hyrule Warriors. That's
Mario
crazy,
games are
man. Both these
practically as
games are
plentiful as the
good.
coins he collects. The main series of platformers, which range from more linear side-scrollers to expansive 3D titles, have always tried to reinvent the wheel with new mechanics, with the biggest game changer arguably being Mario 64 and later the Mario Galaxy series.
Exactly.
Odyssey also seems like it'll continue with this trend, but
Right.
we'll have to wait and see. Outside of his platformers, Mario is featured in a plethora of different
Mario
games,
Party.
from the Party series to the vastly popular Mario Kart games.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
All things considered, the Mario series contains a huge number of excellent games with an enormous amount of variety and content. While Zelda has a solid amount of variety in its repertoire of games, Mario basically blows it out of the water.
Dang.
This round goes to Mario.
Wow.
So nice.
Round 4, gameplay.
How many rounds did they say it was? 5 or something like that?
Nearly every game in the Legend of Zelda series features a ton of items and weapons to use, which makes approaching enemies, obstacles, and puzzles challenging and enjoyable. The combat, especially after targeting was introduced, is very intuitive and responsive.
Right.
Exploration and puzzle solving is a fundamental part of any Zelda game, and it always manages to feel fresh and rewarding with each new iteration. Bottom line is that despite The Legend of Zelda possessing a great story and characters, it's the gameplay that keeps players coming back.
Exactly.
Right from its inception, the Super Mario series of games have distinguished themselves as having simple and simply fun platforming. And as the series has progressed, it's remained consistently polished and improved upon. Even though Mario continues to switch back and forth between 2D and 3D, the core
Right.
gameplay manages to carry over pretty much seamlessly. However, if there's one area that the Super Mario games suffer in terms of quality, it's the fact that, although each game is accessible to nearly everyone, its simplistic nature limits how engaging it can be.
Wow.
Both game series have superb gameplay, but we have to go with The Legend of Zelda for its
Exactly.
core mechanics and depth.
Gotta be.
Zelda.
Watch, they gonna have on like Mario come out on top of
Round
something.
5, Legacy.
Oh my goodness. Legacy.
Legend of Zelda games have a storied history and have had a profound impact on gaming. Many of its titles are highly regarded as some of the greatest games of all time.
Right.
Including, but not limited to, A Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, and most recently, Breath of the Wild. Furthermore, the amount of innovation the series has brought to the industry, such as the targeting mechanic, can't be overstated. Zelda has inspired a number of games, and its legacy is tied
Oh, like
to
Dark
the
Souls 3. I still need to beat
series
that. I
introduced
got it
to
too,
the
Dark
world
Souls
of
3.
gaming. On the other side, the Super Mario series is one of the titans of video game history. Just like Zelda, the series also has claims to various greatest games of all time titles, from Super Mario World, 64, the Galaxy series, and not to mention Mario Kart and all the other spin-offs. The Mario character has become one of the most recognizable mascots around,
Yeah.
and one of the faces of video games, even transcending the very medium. How many people do you know whose first experience with a video game is somehow tied to this unforgettable plumber? Nintendo's man has definitely made his mark.
I love this. I love that Super Mario one.
Both series' legacies are impressive with strong core fan bases. However, while the Zelda franchise may be considered gaming royalty amongst gamers, the fact is that Mario is practically synonymous with both Nintendo and gaming as a whole. That's all not to mention that there's a fan base in there that's made up of both hardcore and casual fans, meaning that it's the series that takes the final round. Winner, Mario.
Mario. That's crazy.
And with that, Super Mario secures the match with a score of 3-2. There are few video game series that have been as consistently excellent and reinvented themselves as successfully as both.
This has
Zelda and
525
Super Mario.
dislikes. They must
But
all be
ultimately,
Zelda
it's everyone's
fans.
favorite killer in overalls who stands taller than the rest. Hey, if you disagree with our pick, then, well, I don't know, tell Nintendo to make this matchup the next Splatfest theme in Splatoon 2. What's the worst that can happen?
Splatoon 2. Wow.
Do you agree with our verdict? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo and subscribe for new videos every day.
I mean, I gotta say, yeah, I gotta give Mario his props, and that was like one of the first video games I played, especially on regular Nintendo. And Zelda, you know, is right up there with it. So I could put Super Mario on top. I agree with the way that they were explaining things like that. So, but both games are fun, man. Like sometimes you'd be playing Zelda for 6 hours, and you'd be playing Mario for 6 hours or more, and things like that. So, hey, you give them both these props. They both made by Nintendo, so you know what I'm saying. Like, So, I have not played the latest, wait, I don't know if the new Super Mario came out, the latest Super Mario. If it did, I have not played it yet. I need to check it out. But if you guys like my reactions to this, post your comments down below, like and share with all your friends. Subscribe to this channel for more reaction videos. J Anchor holding it down for 100,000 subscribers, and J Anchor is out.
Desmond, watch his release. Wait,
It do be having like those lines and stuff, white lines and stuff.